everyone, and welcome back to The Good News. This is Sloane Ketcham coming to you from SloaneKetcham.com. I am very excited to have with us today my dear friend Carie Anderson of Malama Baby. She is a mompreneur / inventor. I call her a branding queen, and she's going to share with us how to get our big idea off the ground. The one thing that you need to do to take your idea from just an idea in your head to an actual wonderful product that you're selling to everyone. So, hi Carie.
Hi,
hello.
Thanks for having me.
I'm so happy to have you here. Thanks for coming. There's so many places I want to start because I've been so blessed to know you as a friend. Also, Carie's products are in our boutique, Maya Bella, as well as other fabulous, amazing Mommy and Me stores in Hawaii. As I've gotten to know you, I was extremely impressed by your ability to serve and want to help, and you're just a wonderful woman that leads by example. And so, I want to ask you about Malama Baby, your vision, and kind of tell us about how you got started.
So basically, I got started because I had kids, and I had a problem, and it basically was breastfeeding and the hot, humid sweatiness of Hawaii. So when you hold your baby and you're nursing or bottle feeding, it just gets hot. Their head is really hot. You get sweaty and uncomfortable. And I would just put a cloth diaper on my arm to alleviate it or something. But when I put the baby down to sleep, it would fall on his head and wake him up. So I thought, surely there has to be something made out there for that issue. But I couldn't find it. So I decided I'm going to make my own. Even though I didn't sew, I knew nothing about how to design anything. I decided to just start from scratch. And it took me about a year. But I finally came up with what I call the Snoozie. And it's just this, it's sleek. You just put it on and it's got organic batting inside and it just makes everything comfortable. So this is the start.
So when I saw this, because I have 3, tell everybody how many babies you have.
I have 3 babies.
Okay. And so that's why I love having these conversations, because when we go to a store or we're doing something or somebody comes out with like that thing that squeezes the toothpaste out, I was like, why didn't I think of that?
Exactly. I do that all the time.
And so here you are with your why didn't I think of that? And it's like so brilliant and amazing. And I want to just take it back a little bit because one of the reasons why I love your brand is because you combined like nursing with cool, modern, amazing prints. And so how did you know that that was kind of what you wanted to do with Malama Baby?
Well, I mean, I wanted to make something, but I didn't want it just to be like a pillow on your arm. Mm-hmm. It had to be kind of elegant, you know, stylish, like you'd wear it and you'd be proud of it and you'd wear it in public. So it was really important that I create something that was useful, practical, it solved a problem, and it looked good, you know. So it took me a long time to come up with that design. But when I finally did, I was so proud of it. You can throw it in a washer and dryer and it doesn't crumple up like my first prototype did.
Let's talk about how you got to this. Exactly. Let's talk about that.
It starts with just a concept, something for your arm. Trust me, the first prototypes were really bad. Pad on the arm,
just
pot
like,
holder.
Do you still have those?
I do.
Okay.
I wish someday I'll like have a little lineup of the, you know, the evolution of the Snoozie. But it really is just do it. And then not only that, but I just would have these people that would show up and just help me along and encourage me. And I mean, it's easy to talk about it because I just, you know, you get really crazy about it. But it helps to have that support. And I think I just had little support as I went. And so a year is a long time, but it didn't feel like a year because there was always something that I had to like overcome. Like, oh, I couldn't, like I said, when I threw it in the wash and dry, it just jumbled up and, you know. So anyway, you just plug away and you keep at it. And sometimes you have to put it down and, you know, step back and just take a rest. But then you come back to it and, it, you know, whatever issue you couldn't figure out, it just comes to you. But you just do it. I don't know how else to say.
Was there, well, I think that's good. You said it
Yeah.
perfectly. Sometimes we just have to do it. But was there ever a time where you were like, I don't know if this is going to work? Or how did you gauge, like, you know, a lot of us have these ideas, right?
Yes.
And then we're like, will people like it? Like,
Right.
will people accept it? So,
Right. I mean, I thought if I loved it and I needed it, then surely there's other moms out there that has the same problem, right? So I debuted it at the Baby Expo. So it was
Okay.
perfect. It was a perfect thing to bring it to. My target audience was there, my target market, and it did good. I mean, it was one product I had, that and the nursing apron, and that's all I had, and people loved it. So, you know, it kind of gives you that encouragement to keep going. And of course, I developed other things along the way, but it really just started with one product. And knowing that other moms and dads appreciated it really encouraged me to just like keep going.
talk to us about maybe some challenges that you had as a mompreneur. I know you also have a job.
I work part-time.
Part-time. So you're balancing all of these other things. Give us an example of kind of, you know, how that worked for you, something that was maybe challenging, and then how you overcame it.
Oh, definitely. The biggest challenge is balance. And I was overly motivated about my business. It became my baby that I started to neglect other areas in my life. It was like, husband, you need to help me with 3 kids, you know, and you know, it was all about.
I don't know anything about that.
No, you don't know that.
No.
I tell you.
I sure do. Yeah.
No, but I was almost overly like focused on my business. I was so passionate about it that I would stay up till 3 every day, just sewing and just driven like I was crazy, and really got close to kind of losing it. I mean, it was a good awakening for me. A good slap. Somebody finally slapped me and said, "What are you doing?" And it was me that said that. What am I doing? And so it was good, though. It had to happen. And I just said, "Oh my gosh, I'm doing this for my family, but I'm not," you know? And so I just kind of stopped and I reevaluated, and you kind of pray about it. And you know it's right, but I was overdoing it. You know, I just kind of did a stop, reevaluate. And, you know, thank God my husband is understanding, and we talked it out, and we got to the core of everything, and we worked it out. So that was a challenging year. That was 2009, my challenging year. But I learned so much, and I'm so glad that I saw what was happening, and I was able to turn it around. And with the support of family and everything, I mean, there's so many things that went on, I was able to make it work. And I took myself out of the do everything, and I started realizing you can't do that. You can't do everything. You have to learn to delegate and invest, you know, in areas that you're not good at, so that you can work on the stuff you're good at, you know. So yeah, it was challenging.
Oh, you gave me like goosebumps. I got like total goosebumps and thank you for sharing that with us, because I think that when we see this and all of this, a lot of times we kind of are like, oh wow, you know, like she can do that, but I don't know if I can. And I think it's demystifying that superwoman status. Like, balance is something that's defined by ourselves, right? Yes. But sometimes we need to get kind of slapped in the face by ourselves to be like, okay, hold on, like let me reprioritize what's happening here. And what inspires me about you is that in that moment, it wasn't about like, because I think for moms that we sometimes get really guilty and we don't know, and is my dream okay, and can I do it, but I'm really passionate, right? I'm really passionate, but that's what you do when you're passionate. And I'll say that a lot of times society stereotypes really passionate, ambitious women. And so we take that on and we feel bad and guilty. And sometimes, because I've been there, where you're doing, and then you feel bad and things are kind of falling apart. And instead of figuring out where that medium is, it's like, oh, just forget it. I'm going to put this on the side and not do this anymore, and then go back to my 9 to 5 and kind of plug, right?
Right.
And you moved through it. So
I did.
And that was when, in 2000?
That was in 2009.
Oh my gosh.
So 1 year of just like plugging away.
Yeah.
every day.
Yeah.
You know, it was crazy. I really say you have to be a little bit of crazy to be an entrepreneur.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and so after that, you know, craziness, I just kind of took a deep breath and said, okay, I still want to do this, but there has to be the balance between family and business, and yet there, you know, you can't separate them. So, it's been awesome. It's still it's still a work in progress. You never, I mean, you know, you have to change it a little bit here and there. But I'm definitely at a better, happier place today.
Yay! Yes, and we can see that because I think after 2009, now we're 2013, almost to 2014, and I know that you've come out with new patterns, and your quality is amazing, and I think you're growing and expanding. And through that process and in getting to know you, I know that your heart really is in helping others to get their big ideas off the ground.
I meet so many other mom entrepreneurs. Some of them are like not as far as I am. Some of them have been doing business for a while. And you know, when you start talking to them, you have all the same like struggles and challenges, and it feels really good to talk to them because it's like somebody who finally gets what you're going through, you know, and just that support, it just kind of lifts you up, and you feel like we can do this, you know. Let's talk. Let's see how we can share and just support each other and have resources for each other. And you always know somebody who can help them, and I can't help them with this issue, but I know someone who might, you know. So I like that part, and it is lonely because if you don't have partners, you're like kind of on your own, and so there's no one to talk to. So I would love to be that source of just, you know, just fellowship and just sharing and talking to someone about it. I think it would help me too. You know, it's kind of a give and take. So yeah, that's what really drives me, I think, and kind of makes me excited.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Totally.
Yeah.
It makes complete sense.
Yeah.
I love that. What would you say to a mom that wants to go into business but is worried about balancing her idea and her passion with her family and her husband?
Okay. Oh.
Or boyfriend.
Right.
Or
Or
maybe
just
she doesn't have a partner.
situation.
Yeah.
Right.
What would she do?
Well, I mean, just start small. You know, it doesn't have to be grand. It doesn't have to be like, you know, all of a sudden it takes off. Just start with what you know. You know, maybe you have one product or one idea. Just make it, you know, and then like what I did was I would go to stores and just present my idea, and but you start small. You know, you don't go to Costco and say I have 1,000. You know, I mean, you just start where you can, and I think it always leads to other things. You always meet people. There's always opportunities. You just have to put yourself out there. I think that's what it is. You just put yourself out there. You take that leap of faith. You take that step, you know, and you just do it in ways that you can. Mm-hmm. And then I swear, you meet people along the way that just help you get to the next level and then the next level. And that's the exciting part because there's always more. I mean, I started with one product and now I have a line of things, and I always have so much more ideas in my head. So it just doesn't end, you know. You just lie in bed and you're like, oh my gosh, you know. So just start where you are. Start with your one product, and it'll. If the passion's there, you can't stifle it. It'll grow. It'll get somewhere.
That's a good one. If the passion's there, you can't stifle it.
No.
That's good.
You cannot.
That's a quote by Carie Anderson. If the passion's there, you can't stifle it. What does success mean to you?
I mean, in terms of business, for me, success is doing a job you love, like you love, and bringing it to a place where you can actually have financial freedom, and then you can pursue your dreams for me, my dream is just traveling, spending more time with my family, and kind of like just spoiling my family, you know, like I want to give them back. Like my dad and my mom and my brothers, and you know, like there's so much that they give to me, and friends. So that giving back, and also equally important, I think, is giving back to society. You know, your community. So I help in small ways that I can now. It's not always monetary, but I love helping organizations that have to do with family. So I do it, and it always feels good, you know, and I'd love to give back in big ways someday, but right now I give back in small ways, you know, what I can do. So that's my idea of success, is just getting this business to a place where I can freely do what I want to do, not worrying about bills and stuff like that. So.
Yay! Yeah. What would you like your legacy to be?
I think you just want to make a difference, you know, and as shy as I was, I'm not as shy today, but you want to be heard, you know. I mean, I think we do. I think that's part of being human, is to relate to other people. So my legacy, just someone who had a dream and pursued it and made a difference in the world.
Yay! Yes, that's it. Done. We can leave now. That was so amazing. I think that you are doing that already. So what a gift to be able to like live your life and constantly like be in pursuit of that.
It feels good.
Yeah.
It really does.
Yeah.
It really feels good. Yeah.
Okay, and then the last thing is, I know that for our Women Up Hawaii members that you have a special offering for them. So first, let's let everybody know where they can find you.
So you can go on my website at www.malamababy.com. It's easy to spell. And I have my products there, and then links to like my Facebook, and I have a blog.
So for our networking powerhouse of women, you'll want to go to womanuphawaii.com and become a member. And then members of Women Up Hawaii
So I have, as long as supplies last, I have these Snoozies, and I made them so it's like boyish on one side, girlish on the other, or unisex, whatever, right? And you get a free Snoozie if you enter on my website. Women Up Hawaii is the coupon code, and you get a free Snoozie.
Yay!
So while supplies last, and I do have a bunch up until August 17th.
Okay, perfect. August 17th. So we'll put that information up on Women Up Hawaii. And thank you so much, Carie, for coming out and for sharing your inspiration and just all of your heart with us. And we look forward to seeing more of Malama Baby. Where can they find you next? You have a show that you're going to be doing?
I'm actually doing the Made in Hawaii show. It's my first one.
Okay.
That's on August 16th, 17th, and 18th.
Okay.
And then the next Baby Expo is on October 12th and 13th.
Perfect.
So see me there. I might have some new products. So.
Good. So we will link to your website and have all that information up on SloaneKetcham.com. Thank you, Carie. I love you.
Love you too.
Yay.
Thank you.
All right, thank you everyone for staying tuned and for watching The Good News. I'm so happy to have you, and I hope that you were able to learn some amazing things from Carie. I know I was. So as always, if you haven't already, go ahead and put your name and your email in the link below and subscribe, and you will get The Good News every Friday delivered to your inbox. Thank you, and have a fabulous week.